Hi, hello, we're gonna collectively ignore the bang situation. Thanks, guys. So, it's springtime, as you can tell by the beautiful amount of sun we have. And I want to read. Who would have guessed? An author wanting to read groundbreaking. And so it is springtime, and so what happens during springtime? I'll give you a hint. It starts with F and ends with babies. Fairies! Yes, you are correct! Good job! So in honor of the fairies of springtime, I wanted to read A Court of Thorns and Roses. And not just one, but two. They're on sale at Target, so why not? And full disclaimer, I have read this guy. I read the first one. I own the audiobook, but I'll be completely honest with you. I kind of like the covers. I like the colors of the covers. And like, you see all the book girlies and they have like that on their shelf and then the next one and the next one. You know exactly what collection that is. You know what I mean? Like, the bright colors are so distinctive. I wanted to own the physical book form and I'm gonna read all of them, whether I like them or not. But I want to like them. And so full disclaimer, I have read the first one about 2 years ago now, and I thought it was boring. I didn't think it was bad, I just thought it was kind of boring and it didn't grab me and I didn't get why people liked it so much. And then I heard, well, oh, you need to read the second one. I'm of the mind, if I have to read this much to get to book 2, then this isn't good. You know what I mean? That, and I had the fact that Farah and Rhysand get together. I had that spoiled for me at like the worst time. So I was just not in it to win it without being given much context. And so I'm going to erase that reading experience from my mind, and we're gonna start over. And the reason why I wanted to give this series a second chance is I want to be a girl's girl. All the girlies love this book. All of them love this series so much. I want to know what it's about. And I know what it's about because of Carrie Can Read. If you have not seen these videos, they're absolutely iconic. They're so good, and I put them on the background all the time. Fantastic videos. She does a fantastic job. And any of her videos in this style are fantastic. Yeah, no, we're ignoring the hair situation, okay? We're ignoring it in its entirety. This is a reading vlog. My dude, this is so much more casual than any of my other videos. Don't look at that dead plant. Thank you. She's not dead. She's just had a very stressful... She was infected by ants. I want to be included. That's all this comes down to, is I want to be included. I want to be where the people are. And that's wherever the fuck this is. So, in the honor of spring, let's go read some fairy smut, shall we? My name's Percy, by the way. Hi, nice to meet you. Welcome to my channel. We do a lot of book things around here, as you can tell. So hi, welcome. Okay, later in the day. Took way too long for me to get set up for actual reading, but it's literally almost 7 o'clock at night. I started filming at like 10. It's been a very, very rough day. Anyway, so I have an ACOTAR ambiance playlist up. Ignore that. Anyway, it's 10 hours and 47 minutes. I have my book, I have my annotation supplies. Let's roll, baby. So this really wasn't intentional, but I am checking it at page 69. Nice. I'm trying to be quiet because I am just in the guest room, and if anyone comes in here, I'm just gonna lie and say that I had to take a phone call. But so I didn't do a lot of reading yesterday. I just didn't want to, and I think part of it is because I just feel weird about reading this book. If the lighting is changing, I can't fix that. I'm in front of a window in the guest room in my in-laws house. I just have like a lot of complicated feelings around this book, and I think it really boils down to I wish I could have read this blind. I wish I could have read this blind like 90% of people who have read it and who have loved it, because I'm not blind. I have a preconceived notion. I'm also reading it for content, for you guys. Not for you guys, but to tell you guys about my reading experience. And the first time I read it was also for content. I read it because I had a book podcast. And so having a preconceived notion of what I should be experiencing when reading this book is like really messing with me in a really weird way. Because now I'm going in purposely trying to love it, trying to enjoy it, you know? And so I feel bad if I don't, but I don't know. I didn't expect this guy. I didn't expect this guy to kind of bring up these like weird, complicated feelings I'm having of like kind of imposter syndrome, kind of, do I actually know what I like? Do I know what I enjoy? You know? But all that being said, I do still think I'm enjoying it. I will say, all the playlists on Spotify that are like ACOTAR reading, ACOTAR vibes, are way too intense. If you're picking up this book and reading from page 1, and you put on an ACOTAR playlist, it's so intense. The music is like, oh no, we're going to battle, and I'm like, buddy. So I had to change reading playlist very quickly. I also think I'm just in a different headspace of reading it now than I was when I first read it. I made a note, I made a little comment to myself. I'm way more depressed reading it now than I was back then. And so I think that weirdly works in its favor, where I'm like, no, take me to the fairy realm. Give me pure escapism. Let me join, you know. And I think that like works in its favor, but I'm enjoying it more, and I'm having weird, complicated feelings all at the same time. But I'm excited to continue to read, and I think because I took the day off to kind of like process all these weird feelings I'm having, because I kind of took a day off to process that, I am able to like jump in and be excited to read and kind of have a blank slate. The thing that I want to work on is not the preconceived notion of how I should feel when reading this story based off reviews I've seen, based off what everyone else says, based off what the internet says, but my personal relationship as Percy today experiencing with this book. Because that's all anyone can do at any given moment at a time. Be present. What are you reading? Are you actually enjoying it? Yes or no? But yeah, I'm enjoying it more. I'm excited to read, and I think that's the biggest benchmark is, do you think about this book when you're not reading it in a good way or a bad way? And at the moment, a good way. I'm excited to get back into Prithian. Ah, I love words. I love reading. Okay, well, I think that's good. Hello.
That scared me.
I know, I'm sneaky.
What's going on?
No, I needed to film an update for a book I'm reading that I'm doing a review on.
Gotcha.
And, well, there's good lighting over here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. It's your house.
No, I just didn't like.
I couldn't keep to the lie. It's fine. And on that note, I love reading. I'm gonna go read. Okay, bye. Hi, so I just wanted to give a quick update on A Court of Thorns and Roses. I am about halfway. So I just want to give like a halfway, yeah, chapter 22. That's where all my little tabs are just shoved in. So I'm about halfway, and I just wanted to kind of collect my thoughts because I have a lot of them, unfortunately. I feel like I'm supposed to not like the book because I didn't like it the first time. And I'm trying to, even though it is for content, I'm trying to focus on the enjoyment because I am enjoying reading this book. I don't think it's fantastic. You know, it's a fairly straightforward, simple book, and there are moments that leave me wanting more, like with the visual descriptions, especially since Farah is supposed to be a painter. There are moments where I'm like, oh, it's almost there. Make it a little more juicy. Give me a little bit more to chew on. And so, just trying to enjoy this book for the two of us. You know, it's my second chance romance, and I'm trying to give her a second chance. But I've been enjoying it in a way that I don't know is correct, quote unquote.
So I dropped this thought the second it comes out of my mouth, and I don't know why. But anyway, so what I mean by correct is I was not, at this point, interpreting the novel as a romance novel. And we will talk about that more later, don't you worry. But anyway, back to Percy, who doesn't know how sentences work, apparently.
Because I don't believe there is a right or wrong way to read. If you pick up a book and read for fun, you're a reader. I don't care if you read 100 books a year. I don't care if you read 1 book a year. If you enjoy reading, congratulations, you're a reader. But yeah, I had to take a break from reading to kind of deal with these thoughts of, is my knee-jerk reaction to dislike it just because I disliked it beforehand, and does that make me a hypocrite? No, it means I've grown, you know, just... I should talk to my therapist about this. Beep, 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 Chase, hello. So, yeah, I always want to work towards being a girl's girl. If I am nothing else in my lifetime, I want to be a girl's girl. And the girls love this series, so. Also, if anyone is wondering what the tabbies are, I do annotate. That is just how I read. That's not for you guys. But I will share what my annotations are if anyone is curious and trying to get into annotating and don't know how. Let's talk about it. So, the first one is, I love words, followed by painting related, followed by good ouch, and then family. So what do those mean? So I love words is just, ooh, a phrase I really like. It could be imagery, it could be a quote, it could be anything. I love words. Or a word that I didn't know and I had to look up, and it's just a cool word. I personally, I love words is usually my first tab in all of my books because I love words. Painting related, as we know, Farah is a painter, and there are moments where she talks about wanting to paint something, or she'll describe something using like her painter brain. And as a painter myself, I painted that. As a painter myself, if there's a moment that makes me feel like I want to paint, or that makes me feel like this would be a beautiful painting, I will tab it because it's interesting, and I try to find inspiration everywhere, you know? Good ouch is pretty self-explanatory. If something is ouch but good, and not in the sense of like, oh, I want that to happen to me, or oh, I want that to happen to a friend. No, this is a very true, very raw emotional moment, and it hurts, and that's that good shit. You want it to hurt. I paid for this. Make me feel something. Hurt me. Break my heart, please. Because that means you're doing your job. And then family, in that same vein, family is that good, you know what I mean? Which family and good ouch often kind of go hand in hand just because of Farah and her family situation. And so if there's ever a moment that I just feel like is a beautiful display of familial emotions, I tab it. The first one I actually tabbed was Feyre jumping in front of her family when Tamlin comes to pick her up for the first time. And I was like, nope, this deserves a tab, but it's not I love words. It gives me a certain feeling. And I didn't know what it was, so I just labeled it as family. And I think that's when I know that later in the series there's a big theme of found family, so I feel like family is going to be one that kind of goes throughout the series. And it's not just, oh, she talked about her sisters. It's like, no, you gotta make me feel something. Make me feel good, or make me feel bad, or angry. Just make me feel something, please. But yeah, so that is the halfway check-in. I just remember, I was just thinking, oh, I don't have a bookmark. I have a bookmark. Where are they? That's glass, don't fall. Please, thank you. Stay. Are they in here? This is what they don't tell you about having an eccentric collection of things. Shit just falls all the fucking time. So, light green or dark green? They have cat hair on them. Light green or dark green? Light green or dark green? I feel like light green. I don't know where I got these. They are silicone little bookmarks. They're silicone, so they're like a little grippy, and they're very like, they ain't going nowhere once you put them in. Dope. Dope, dope, dope. Oh, I'm so happy I can take out these guys. I don't like keeping my tabs inside the book, as I showed you, just because I'm always scared that they're gonna like make a permanent indentation. What the fuck was that sound? Okay, so we're going with light green unless someone has a very visceral reaction and demands I put in the dark green. I will do that, but for now I think light green works. Oh, I'm so excited. I think the next one will be dark green. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for the halfway check-in. Next you'll see me is when something makes me feel something. Ugh. I did all that just for my partner to tell me he's about to come pick me up. So, I built a nest and I don't even get to lay in it. I'll read at his house, it's fine, but it's not as cute as my house. I have Seamus. He doesn't have Seamus. He has a boring gray room. He has a boring boy room. You have to undo all my hard work. For what? A man? Gross. I'm just kidding, I love my boyfriend very much. He treats me very well. While I lay in bed and procrastinate packing, though, I just posted stop focusing on that face. Stop it. I just posted this video. Stop it! It has 501 views. It's been like 30 minutes. Shut up. Can I get a... That's a slightly bettering angle. Not really. Whatever. Alright, we're leaving it there. Anyway. 501 views. And 6 likes. And 1 save. That's just me, just because it shows up for other people. 5 likes, technically. Because that's me. And that's also me. And one of those comments is me. So 5 likes and 1 comment. For 501 views, that's not my normal ratio. Just what in the algorithm? You know what I mean? Hello? Okay, well now TikTok's broken. I post a kid. Anyway, all this to say, follow me on TikTok. Actually, no, screw that. Follow me on Instagram. Where this reel is actually doing significantly worse. This only has 83 views, but it has also 6 likes. Shut up. But also 6 likes. And 1 send, which is not me. So, you know, shut up. I need to update that. Anyway, follow me on Instagram. I'm much more active on Instagram than I am on TikTok. So, 2 things. 1, I found a red pen, which I know that this is like a weird in-between red and orange book. Like on camera right now it looks really, really orange, but in person it looks much more like red. It's a very like It's a very cool color. I actually really like the color of... Anyway, that's not why I picked up the camera. I just wanted to let you guys know I saw someone use colored pens to do their annotations, and the pens match the cover of the book, and I'm gonna do that from now on because I have a whole pack of these that I've had for years and don't super use. So much so that I actually don't buy non-clicky pens anymore, and I haven't for years. So that's how long I've had these. Anyway, not relevant. Oh my god, none of that was relevant. I just wanted to let you know that I had a fun new thing that I'm doing that makes me happy. I don't like Tamlin. That's not a hot take. Most people don't like Tamlin, especially once you get into later books in the series. But I've never liked Tamlin, like even in this book. I've never liked Tamlin. And in my first review, again, having no context for the rest of the series, in my first review, I was like, I just don't get it. And I equated it to, as someone who was in a very healthy, fulfilling relationship, and, you know, still to this day, you can't dangle meat in front of someone who's not hungry. So I just didn't find the whole concept of this handsome rich man kind of sweeping you away very appealing. My shirt's bothering me, hold on. So sorry. So sorry. So I just didn't find that like super appealing. But now, going back and reading this with the context of some major spoilers for the next book, there's just a lot more foreshadowing that I appreciate a lot more. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit later once I finish the book. I think this book is a lot more interesting if you know, if you've already read the second one. So what's the point of reading this one? Which was like the argument I made when I first read this. I was like, what's the point of this first book exactly? You know, and logically I know the point. I know it's because she ends up with someone else. I know it's because the twist, and it sets up like the conflict for the rest of the series. It just, I'm reading this and it's so long. There's so much. And I'm like, why? But yet I keep reading. Like, I enjoy the world. And I like Farah enough. You know, I am notorious for not liking male love interest. I just have a bad... I have a bad history with men. And so I am a little bit more on edge when it comes to men and their red flags, just kind of in general from my own personal experience. So it's not uncommon, that I don't like the male main characters. There are some that I love though. There are some that I adore and will die for. But, so... yeah, no, it's just a weird, I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of feelings about this book. And as an artist who loves art of all kinds, art should make you feel something, should make you talk about it. And so, here we are. So it's doing its job. And like I said, I do like the world, and I'm enjoying the world a lot more. The reason I picked up the camera was to say that I don't like Tamlin. And that is an ice cold take. And that's it. But that, even as someone who hasn't read the rest of the series, I still like really dislike it. But yeah, no, that's just super interesting, and I wonder if anyone else, and like, here's the thing, I can't even ask this. I mean, I can, and I'm going to. Did anyone else dislike Tamlin when they read this book without knowing the context of what's to come? That is my question that I pose to you. Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm super curious, because I have never liked him. The first time I read it, I thought he was boring. I thought it was an instant flip, and that it was really weird and kind of love bomby, and yeah, again, and I thought it was because I was in a fulfilling relationship, and you can't dangle meat in front of someone who's not hungry was like my idea. And now I'm just like, Maybe I was right all along. Who knows? Maybe, you know, I'm playing 4D chess without even realizing it. Baby. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep. It's late. But I'm gonna get a little bit more reading done and then I'm gonna go to sleep. I will say there's something nice about just carrying around a big book. As as a child who always had like a big ass book on them for no reason, carrying and as someone who's like mostly switched to audiobooks and ebooks, there's something very comforting about having a big ass book on you. It's just comforting. It's just like having a friend, you know? And like I said, Farah has grown on me a lot. So yeah. Hold on, hold on, Taylor, hold on, Taylor, we can be sad in a second. Okay, I remembered the other, hold on, okay, I have to get back into my position of nice vlog lighting. I remembered the other thing I pulled out the camera for. Farah shows Tamlin her art, and she's like, I painted this for you as a thank you for your kindness, and it's the moment, I just lost my place in my book, and it's an impressionist painting of the pool of starlight. By the way, impressionism is one of my favorite art styles anyway. So she goes, you know, here you go for you, and then he's like looking at all the other paintings in the room, and she's like, please don't do that, and he looks anyway, and he just is like, that one is your forest, that one is your cottage at nighttime, that is the man you made love to, oh no, you know, and he's being like overly dramatic and stuff, and he points at the forest one, and he goes, I want that one. Sir, I didn't offer you that one. She painted one for you of a moment you guys shared, and you're taking the one that is like very clearly her dealing with her trauma. This is an ice cold take, I'm late to the party, I know, but what? Oh my god, my partner of 3 years, the one who I call my husband and who we have like actively planned a future together and have had all the big talks, that the person I am so intimate and we're so connected, he would not dare look at artwork that I didn't show him because it's a violation of privacy, you know, like as an artist, as a painter, your art is so intimate and it is so private, and like the fact that she was like, hey, please don't do that, and he went, eh, I'm just like, oh my god. And I know it's a little bit like two sides of the same blade, where it's meant to be, oh my god, he sees her for who she is, oh my god, he doesn't shy away from her past type thing, but then also knowing what's to come, it's also him like, I think it's signs of him being a dick. We're gonna talk more about this when the book is done, don't you worry. But yeah, it just felt like extra gross this time around. It was just like gross. It just feels like such a violation of privacy. It's icky. Yeah, and again, my life partner, the person who, and I know some people are like, 3 years is not that long, but like we've dealt with a lot. I've had a lot of health issues. We've dealt with a lot together, you know what I mean? The person that I is the closest person to me, where we share everything. He would not dare open my sketchbook. Oh my god. Oh my, it's this is such like a niche like feeling, you know. If you're not a painter, you might not know, or you might not feel the same way, but like, or you might be thinking like, well, it's just not that big of a deal. It is, and then for him to just go, I want that one, and I'm like, sir, she painted one for you, that's just rude. It's just rude. And she's like all in a tizzy and blushing, and I'm like, ew. Ew. Gross. Anyway, I know I said I was going to bed. Oopsie. I don't have it in me to go find my camera or even pause my music right now, so I might be yelling. But I love Nesta. We got to the part where your bestial trick didn't work on me, page 264, where she simply said, go fuck yourself. She said, go fuck yourself. That is, I love her. This woman made of ice and steel is just, I think she's so cool. I think she's so cool. Hey, hi, hello. So I hope that this microphone is good enough because there's an AC unit going really loudly and I refuse to turn it off. It's hot. And so I hope this audio is good enough or else I can't use this clip. I didn't even try to set up a flattering angle, so I hope you don't mind that we're being a little bit more vulnerable here. I also need you to know that I bought this mic to plug in a little mic with this little adapter disc thing. It has like all these little devices for like adapters and things. And I bought it to be able to plug this mic into my camera, and it doesn't fucking work when I plug it into my camera, which is fine. I'm fine. I am still keeping this little thing because it makes me feel like a totally spies agent. And it has like a little kickstand for your phone. So, but yeah. Anyway, I just want to check in because we're at the point where we've met Sans. Yay! Everyone's favorite bat boy. Is he a bat boy? I actually don't know. I'm on page 239, and I love him as a villain. And that's what I remember reading. And that's like what I remember when I first read this, was that I really liked him as a villain. And then at the end of the book, I had to Google something about the story for like a fact, and the wiki has a picture of like the sidebars on the wiki, as if like, you know, on Wikipedia there's like the center thing that's full of text, then like a little toolbar, and then the sides are kind of empty. In the sides, it has Rhysand on one side, and Feyre on the other. And I was like, that's not Tamlin. Also, why does Feyre look like that? So then my friend told me, yeah, no, they get together. And I was like, no, gross, because I really like him as a villain. So we're going to revisit those thoughts at the end of the book, now that I have a little bit more context, just because when I first read it, again, pure villain, liked him as a villain, but he does some not great things in this book. And so if I keep looking over here, that's where my laptop is, and I want to make sure it doesn't stop recording. And he does some not great things. And so to have like cool villain, bad guy, do not great things, love interest, like it was just really bad timing to have that spoiler. Because then I thought it was going to be that almost like a Haunting Adeline situation. Oh, my foot's going numb. Oh god, that hurts. And so that's why I didn't, and my book fell. But that's why I didn't read the second book. That's what I thought it was. I made an assumption. That's on me. That's my bad. I'll live up to that. But yeah, I really like him as a villain. It's like he comes in and you can tell that Sarah J. Maas really likes him,
just because the way he's written is just so much more interesting than anyone else, which is real fun to me. I very much like his character interactions more than anyone else so far. And I really like the fact that he is like spicy. Like, I like the fact that, hold on, my back really hurts. But I like the fact that he is like unequivocally a bad guy. Like, he makes Sarah so uncomfortable. And at the same time, she still finds it kind of hot. And the only way I can really describe the feeling it reminds me of is when you go on a roller coaster. Is when you go on a roller coaster and you come off and you're like adrenaline rushing. I don't know. It's just, it's fun. I like it. I like it more than I thought I would. I like it as much or more than I remember. And yeah, we'll talk about it at the end of the book. I have a lot of thoughts. I need to start taking separate notes. I have a lot of thoughts, and my battery is about to die. So this was meant to just be a quick check-in, I promise. But yeah. Also, the fact that I like Rhysand more this time around makes me like Xaden Riorinson less. And that's the tea. I got up for 2 seconds to get my camera. Miss Ma'am! Okay, so my cat stole my chair and I can't find my tripod, so we're just gonna stand, I guess. Anyway, so it's been a minute since I picked up this book. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? What the fuck? Oh, here it is. So it's been a minute since I picked... That's going forever. Okay, so it's been a minute since I picked up this book. There was a pen in there originally. I fucking fell out. But, yeah, no, it's been a minute for a few reasons. One, my leg hasn't been doing great. I just haven't been in like a really good headspace. I haven't been feeling well. But two, the new Taylor Swift album came out and I haven't been able to do anything but listen to it. I hate to say it. I love the album. It's fine. It's fine. But I did find the album very inspiring, so I did get some writing done, which is always very exciting. So that's why I haven't been reading. I find whenever I write, I can't read, and when I read, I can't write. I don't know why. The word space, there's only one word space in my brain. I haven't unlocked the 2 slots yet, you know? So, okay, so I have a coffee cup, and I'm sitting askew on my chair for my cat, but... yeah, so I set myself a deadline to get this book read and this video up on May 1st. It is April 30th. I don't know how that happened. So that means I have to finish the book. I don't have much left. That's all I have left, this part. I don't have much left, so I think I can finish it. I don't know if I can finish this video. I'm gonna have a pull on later. It's 10:30 right now. I was originally today was supposed to be a writing day. I'm writing a script for another video, and so I wanted to finish that so I could film later this week because that was supposed to come out before this, and then I realized, oh shit, we're almost in May. The days blur together when you don't have a structure and you're like chronically in pain and are often laying down. The days just kind of blur together. So that means we have a project for today, huh, Mama? Mama's happy. She's not, but she's willing to share her chair for just a moment. But yeah, so all that being said, but see, here's the sticky point. Tuesday, it's a Tuesday, is when I go and I visit my grandma. I take a walk. I walk through the woods to grandma's house and I go hang out with my grandma for a bit. So that's usually for a few hours, and then I also have therapy today because I had a glimpse into my life. I had a really bad test recently for my chronic whatever the fuck is going on.
and we didn't get the results that we were looking for, and it just kind of put us all back to square one, and it's just been really frustrating. So I moved my therapy appointment up. Sooner, just gonna talk to her sooner so I'm not plagued by horribly depressing thoughts. So I have a jam-packed day, to say the least, and I really hope I can get this done. I mean, luckily I don't have to do anything else. I mean, luckily I can focus all my attention on this today. So I just have to be okay with not getting writing done. And I am. But this wasn't on purpose, but at least we match. Let's get to it. Woo! Everything fell. How did I knock over everything? Heat pad. Brown pillow. Seamus. And yes, I did restyle my bangs. Thanks for asking. I didn't realize I was going to be on camera today, so I didn't do it before. But I did it now. I'm like, and now, hold on. My camera's like angled downwards. And now, I look like I have that one hairstyle from The Sims. I'm a sim! I'm falling is what I am. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go read. Alright. Okay, so I am back from my trek over the hills and through the woods to Grandma's house. I'm very warm. Yes, I did change outfits. Yes, I do look hot in this blouse. Thanks for noticing. But don't mind the mess behind me. But yeah, I still have, focus on me. So I still have some time before therapy. I did that intentionally so I can resettle, get set up with a drink, and get some reading done. I still think I could be on track to finish this video, but we'll see. I say that and immediately stole my chair the second I got home. I have not been home for like 2 or 3 hours. She could have this chair this entire time. Now, the second Mom wants it, I want it. It's fine. It's fine. I'll live. All right. I didn't make much progress. Hello. I didn't make much progress in my short reading stint. 2 reasons. One, because that little transition you saw did take a little too long. It took a lot longer than I thought. And then I was suddenly struck with an idea to make a reel, which is also part of the reason why I changed into this blouse. If you don't know, I'm an indie author. I had an idea to make a TikTok promoting my book, and this blouse matches my book cover. So my book. Secret Mermaid Small Town rom-com, if you're interested. Anyway, therapy done. Does she want in? Will there be a cat? Kitty cat. Okay, anyway, so Vera has made it under the mountain officially. She just got grabbed by the adder, and I think she's about to see Amarantha. I'm excited. I remember liking this part of the book. I love the adder. He's a freaky little dude. He's just freaky, and I love him. Okay, bye. He's just a freaky little dude, and I was like, oh, I love him being creepy. It was, I don't know, it was just a highlight for me. I had to underline it. It was like, buddy, hello. So that was fun. And now we're under the mountain. She's about to meet Amarantha, and I'm excited. I'm excited. I remember really liking this part of the book. I know things are about to kick off. I don't remember a lot of details, but I know things are about to kick off. So I'm seated. I'm seated. I'm seated, I guess. So I know that I have talked shit about Sarah J. Maas in the past, and I probably will in the future. But fuck, can she write a villain? I love Amarantha. She's just so unhinged. Oh my god, she's having so much fun, and I'm having so much fun with her. Okay, I'm having a great time. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. Okay, this is also the part of the book where I know I had a problem with it last time. I'm hoping now that I have healed a little bit more about my sexual assault journey, that it doesn't trigger me as much, and that I can see it a little less biased. My Amazon package is here. Okay, anyway. But yeah, so for good reasons and for bad reasons, I'm very excited to get into the next part of the book. But you know, clean slate, clean slate. I'm having so much fun with Amarantha, and that's what I'm gonna focus on. I'm just gonna keep having fun. Okay, goodbye.
Amazon package acquired. You're so pretty. She knows I'm filming her and she's not gonna do it. It's a new, like, treat. Oh. Anyway, it's full of treats right now. I want it to be her new trick feeder. So I just want to see if she'll do it, because it's a Weeble Wobble guy. Oh my god, just do it, please. Yes. I believe in you. Her other one's too easy for her. So I was hoping this one would be harder. Okay, it might be too easy for her. It immediately fell out the butt. Okay, so we just finished challenge 1. It is so much better than I remember. Period. I knew how, and again, I've read this book before, but with a much different light and much different intention. So, rereading it, even though I knew how it played out, it was good. It was juicy. Okay, it was really good. I really liked it. I'm at the part. Oh my god, I lost my shit when Lucian was like, to your left. I was like, ah! Anyway, again, I knew it was gonna happen, but I'm still having such a fun time. But I'm at the part where Rhysand offers her the deal, you know. And I haven't finished the scene, but he just offered her 2 weeks out of the month. 2 weeks of my choosing. Even though I have knowledge of why. I have knowledge of what happens in the next book. I know like the major things. Even with that knowledge, Rhys, this is a creepy deal. It's a creepy deal, but we're okay with it because he's hot, so it's a creepy deal. And it's meant to be. It's meant to be because he's still the bad guy. He is still he's still naughty, he's still soldier, you know what I mean? But it's weird. It's this weird juxtaposition. I had this issue the first time where she looks at him and thinks he's such a gorgeous man, and then he does bad things like this. And I know like dark romance is a thing, and I know that like being attracted to the bad boy is a thing, you know. It's just, you good? It's just, it's creepy, it's icky, it's an icky deal. But Rhysand is still the most interesting person whenever he's in a scene. He just is. I love him as a bad guy, and I hope I'm gonna love him even more when he's the love interest. I love him as a bad guy. Okay, he's about to heal her arm. I'm excited. I just needed to put that out there. This is in fact a very creepy deal, even with the foreknowledge. Like, just telling someone you don't know, yo, you're mine, you're gonna come with me 2 weeks out of the month. What? And she only takes it because she's dying, you know what I mean? So it's just an interesting bit of writing. It's just interesting, and I like interesting, and I want to talk about interesting. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. Oh my god, I forgot about this, that as he's like telling her to take the deal and she's like, go fuck yourself, go to hell, oh my god, he grabs the bone in her arm and twists it. I love him so much. I love him so much. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now, very quickly. He's offering her the deal. As we said, I'm still in the same part. I still have a lot to talk about. I don't realize because I don't finish reading the passage before I pick up the camera. He's offering her the deal, and she's on death's door. She's about to take the deal, and still she takes a moment to bargain. And she does it, and he laughs.
You're gonna bargain? What? And I'm calling it now. To me, I don't care what it is in canon, to me, this is the moment where he's like, Freyra, you know what I mean? I'm having so much fun. I didn't think I was gonna have this much fun. It's so silly. Okay, so Rhysand just killed the guy from the spring court. It's not spring, from the summer court. He tried to escape, and Rhys shattered his mind on accident. Instead of Feyre thinks, instead of revealing that there were others involved in the plan and that others were also trying to escape. He lied, said nope, it was only him, it was just his cowardness, and then he killed him quickly and swiftly. I think this is a scene that I don't want to say overlooked, but it's a scene that seemed to have swept by me the first go around. I don't think I took it into account when I first read this book, because with Feyre being put on display, titties out, being painted all over, and being made to dance in front of everyone like a plaything, I found that very triggering when I was very early on in my healing of sexual assault, you know. But now reading it, one, it's a little bit funner. I'm enjoying it a lot more, because I love that Rhys is a bad guy. And I remember last time I was like, well, you know, I didn't super like that. I still really liked Rhys, but I didn't super like that, like, gross thing, and I understand why he did it, but it still just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And again, I wasn't fully healed yet. Now I'm a much bigger fan of it than I was then. Also, knowing the context of the second book also helps, makes it much more palatable for me, personally, but I don't think it's bad writing, like I used to. And I think it's because this scene where he, showing, not telling, he does this and immediately downs the goblet, and Feyre in that moment completely understands and downs one as well. And in my mind, I just kind of glossed over that scene. And I think because I was hyper focused on what triggered me, naturally. So I like it a lot more now. So yeah, but I've grown and I've healed, and I'm allowed to change my opinion, and I'm allowed to enjoy this book in whatever way that means to me. My opinion is valid because it's mine. My painting video stopped. Okay. Which, I say that a lot, but that really only applies to very, very few things, so. But in this case, it applies. So, I'm excited to finish out the book. I'm very close. Am I going to edit this tonight? Probably not, but I think I can edit very quickly in the morning. I really hope you're saying this May 1st. Okay. Even if you didn't, yes you did. I don't know, I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it. I really like Rhys, and I know that is an ice cold take to have, but I just really wanted to talk about it while the thoughts were still fresh in my mind as I'm reading those scenes, because they were the scenes that made me not read the second book, because I got spoiled at the wrong time. You know, I got the wrong spoiler at the wrong time, and it kind of ruined it for me. So, but again, I've grown, I've healed, and now I'm excited to do the second one, but I finished this one first.
Update. The update no one wanted. I officially changed my ambient screensaver. It's just a YouTube video. It's just a YouTube video. But I officially changed my ambient screensaver to Moody Flowers, because, now we're under the mountain, but, like, she is still part of the spring court in her mind, so it still had to be flowers, but now it's moody. Okay, so I'm on chapter 41. She has beaten task 2 with the help of Rhysand, because she couldn't read, and it was a word puzzle, and he, with searing pain in her hand, escorts her to the right, like, lever to pull, because she tried to pull one, hand hurt, nope, not that one, until she got to the right one, basically. And afterwards, he helps her, you know, through the mind link that they have. He helps her back to her room, and to stand tall in front of Amarantha, and to walk out with her head held high. So Amarantha didn't get to see her cry, even though she was inches from death, and is actively
shattering, and is like actively wants to break down crying to never be seen again. And afterwards he visits her in her cell, and she's weeping and she's weeping and she's weeping, and he's like, "You're still weeping?" And she's like, "Go fuck yourself." And he licks her tears. Okay, weird choice, but that's the point. I get it, I'm with you. I smell what you're stepping in. And at this point she is officially like devastatedly broken. She doesn't want to do this anymore. She's really beaten down on herself, calling herself an illiterate, imbecile human. How could she do this? And she kind of realized, what am I fighting for? I am a human, and Tamlin is a high fae. What did she say? The future I dreamed out was just that, a dream. I'd grow old and withered while he would remain young for centuries, perhaps millennia. At best, I'd have decades with him before I died. Decades. That's what I was fighting for. A flash in time for them, a drop in the pool of eons. So I greedily drank the wine, and I stopped caring about who I was and what had once mattered to me. And it's one of the things I'm like saving for the end of the book, because I have a lot of questions for those of you who have read the series in its entirety multiple times over. So I guess I'm gonna put it now so you can think about it by the time we get to that discussion part of the video. Could Tamlin ever really love Feyre as a human? Could he ever actually view her as an equal, as he has only ever known her as a human? Especially in the grand scheme of things, where she is just a pawn in this giant game of chess that she did not volunteer for. Could he ever have actually loved her? And I'm gonna say no, and I think she's just kind of realizing that now, that he is centuries older than she is, and she will die and wither, and she will just be a blip in his lifespan. So while I fully and entirely believe that she loves him, could he ever truly love her? And this book is much better than I remember, guys. And like, I have some really like meaty questions that I want to talk over with you when we get to the end. I just want to make sure that there's nothing else I need to add on to those questions. I'm so close. I'm almost done, and then we can talk. Okay. So I saw a post online that said Tamlin's first instinct when he sees Feyre after she comes under the mountain and is, you know, being tortured and being used for sport, his first instinct is to try to fuck her instead of checking if she's okay. And then something about Reef, I don't remember what the second half of that was. The first half just really stuck with me, and I was like, I have a vague memory of that happening. I know they make out in a hallway, but I don't remember the circumstances. No, send tweet, that's it. No, that's what happens. He immediately tries to fuck her. He immediately grabs her, starts making out, and tries to fuck her. And she, being human, you know, human and a little bit more malleable and susceptible to being taken advantage of in this moment, as she is the lesser powered one between the two of them, is also desperately like wants to fuck, which I don't blame her for in the slightest. But like, Tamlin, buddy, she's here for you. You could at least be like, my love, are you okay? No, just meet. Tamlin, you're not helping your case here, buddy. You're not helping your case. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm so tired. But I'm finishing this fucking book tonight if it kills me. So Reese is talking about how the reason why he doesn't touch Feyre anything more than her waist and her arms, even though she is almost fully naked, if not fully naked, on top of him every night, is because it's his only claim to innocence should Tamlin when Tamlin breaks. He's playing 4D chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And so he's trying to rile him up so when the curse breaks, he can obliterate Amarantha. It's the only claim I have to innocence, he said. The only thing that will make Tamlin think twice before entering into battle with me. That would cause a catastrophic loss of innocent life. It's the only way I can convince him I was on your side. Believe me, I would have liked nothing more than to enjoy you, but there are bigger things at stake than taking a human woman to my bed. Rhys, I was on your side. Rhys, buddy, you can't just say that. We were just starting to have fun. Rhys. But again, this isn't helping my theory of a fairy could never truly fall in love with a human the way a human could fall in love with a fairy, because they just see humans as lesser than. And do I think Rhys cares about Feyre at this point? I know I made the joke that like, that's when he started falling in love with her. But I think he likes her the way you like a particularly clever cat. You know, and that's how I feel that also Tamlin feels of her. That, oh, she's clever, she's fun, she's interesting. I just kind of like having her around. Maybe I do want her to just live in my mansion and shit on my rug every now and then. You know what I mean? Like, it's that type of energy. It's not that they see her as... She's just a pawn. She's just a plaything, you know? And I know that her and Rhys are like fated to be together, and that line might just be in there to make him seem like a worse person than he actually is, but this is supposed to be like a candid moment between them. You know what I mean? So it's Rhys, it's a weird thing to say. Rhys. Saying weird ass shit. Golly. Amarantha glared at them, but whenever her gaze fell upon me, she smiled broadly, sweetly. Any words to say before you die? I came up with a plethora of curses, but I instead looked at Tamlin. He didn't react. His features were like stone. I wished that I could glimpse his face, if only for a moment, but all I needed to see were those green eyes. I love you, I said, no matter what she says about it, no matter if it's only with my insignificant human heart. Even when they burn my body, I'll love you. My lips trembled and my vision clouded before several warm tears slipped down my chilled face. I didn't wipe them away. Maybe it's the nighttime getting to me, but oh my god. I love Feyre. Fuck these other hoes. Like, I love Feyre. She's human. She is so human with her sweet, weak, insignificant little human illiterate heart. I love her. I love Feyre. Fuck Tamlin. Ice cold take, but fuck Tamlin. And fuck Rhys too in this moment. It's hot take time with Percy. I did it! I finished it. Oh my god. I'm very proud of myself, first off. Big shirt is back. Big death shirt is back because it's cold now, because it's 1 in the morning. I'm not gonna edit this tonight, but I'm hoping to edit it tomorrow morning. First thing in the morning, 6 a.m. Rise and grind, baby! But anyway, I finished it, and I really liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to, which is a relief. No, so I've been recording this video for like a month, and I hit the mid-slug. I stopped reading like right before she went under the mountain, which is fine. And part of that was because I had read it already and I knew it was coming, blah, 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 blah. But all that to say, I think this book benefits from having a second read through. Why, do you ask? Well, because I don't think it should be classified as romance. I said what I said. So, okay. I know I mentioned that the second book got spoiled for me, and a lot of things have been spoiled for me at this point in the series. That being said, I am someone who believes spoilers do not ruin a story, because the story should still be able to take you on that journey and take you through those emotional beats, even if you know what's coming. I don't remember who said it, but like a twist, you shouldn't try to outsmart your audience with a twist. They should feel the gratification of, I saw it coming, I knew it from the beginning, or, oh my god, what happened? It is 1 in the morning. I have my notes here in front of me. It's in red ink because I've been writing in red ink, and I have the book here in front of me with all my tabs. I have tried for the past 30 minutes to make coherent thoughts come out of my mouth because I have so many smart big girl thoughts about this book and none of them are coming out. So smart big girl thoughts have to wait until tomorrow morning where I'm a little bit more sane. Big yawn from the mamas. Okay, I love you and you're my chair. You can sit with me. No, but you can sit with me. You want to be up here? This is Lady, everyone. Her government name is Lady Deathstroke, but we just call her Little Lady. I don't know what you want. No, okay. Okay, bye. Love you, bestie. Bye. So, it's the next morning. I have better lighting. I am in the same shirt. We're not going to talk about it. And I think I'm officially ready to talk about A Court of Thorns and Roses and really get all my thoughts out there and everything. I don't know what I said last night in my tired girl brain. Let's just get it all out there. So I do think that this is better than I gave it credit for. I had a lot of fun reading it this time around. I know that I mentioned that I am a sexual assault victim, survivor. I don't know what to call myself. But yeah, and so the ending of the book, the whole like sexy Leia thing was a little triggering to me the first time around. Didn't have that issue this time around. I don't know if it's because I'm a little more healed or maybe it just wasn't that big a deal to begin with. I do know that scene is a little controversial, is a little iffy for a lot of people, so it's not just me. But yeah, it wasn't as bad. I think I was able to pick up more on the nuances of Rhys's character the second time around. Like, he does a lot of little things where you can tell he doesn't like what he's doing, but he's doing what he needs to survive. He's playing 4D chess while everyone else is barely playing Connect 4. So, and then Freya is playing hangman in the corner by herself. No, I really liked it. It is still a 3.5 just because the first 65% of the book is just a little boring. It's pure escapism fantasy, having the boo jump scare. So, how's it going? So my camera died. I look like I'm wearing a wig. So my camera died and I needed to charge it because I forgot to charge my backup battery, and so both batteries were dead. So I was like, okay, I'll go take a shower. And then I was like, well, I need to go pick up new mascara. My mascara ran out. It was just errand time, and I have been fighting the urge to bleach my hair. This is all my natural hair. I just finished growing out highlights from like 3 years ago. So this is, finally, I'm back to virgin hair, which is just like a maintenance preference. But I've had the urge to bleach it because, you know, your life gets out of control, you grapple for control. What can I do? I can cut and I can bleach my hair. Well, that's expensive and it takes a lot of time, and I like having dark hair, so what else could I do? I could learn to give myself a blowout. I bought like a little $14 set of rollers. I underestimated how much fucking hair I have. I'm so tired. This took me so long. And for what? I just look like I'm wearing a wig, or look like I'm someone's tia, which I am someone's tia, but like the battery finished charging. And this is where you caught me figuring out how to do my hair in anything that's not just natural curls. So, you know, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't judge. This is a safe space. This has nothing to do with the video. Okay, where are my notes? I threw them on the ground. Now that I have battery again, let's get back to it, shall we? So my next point is just, what is the point of this book? Because, and what I mean by that is not like, oh, silly little fairy smut doesn't make actual literature. No, that is incorrect. This is just a valid book to read as a book lover, as any other book. It is totally valid, and if anyone tells you or tries to make you feel bad for that, tell them your Thea says to go fuck yourself. But more in the sense of the grand scheme of the series, because this series is incredibly important and popular in the zeitgeist, in the common zeitgeist of what it means to be a reader. So, that being said, what is the point of book 1? I'm a very firm believer that every book in a series should be able to stand alone, be able to stand on its own. And this one does, but and this one does. But it weirdly feels like movie 2 in a trilogy. Like, it just feels like it exists to set up something else. Which is fine, because that is one of the roles that book 1 plays in a multi-book series. But it just, I don't know, it feels like it stands out to me, personally. Because book 1 is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. We know this. None of the other books are retellings. And when you're publishing books, you don't, when you're pitching books, you don't pitch a series. You pitch one at a time, and then if it gets popular, then they ask for the next one. And that's what this feels like. She got greenlit for 1. It became so successful that she went 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe 6. I actually don't know if this series is done. Let me know. Because it feels like it stands out so much. But also, it has all this important context that we need to understand and appreciate the rest of the series. And so I guess my question to you guys who have read this and have lived with the story for many years in your head and who have read and reread and reread, what brought you to book 2 when only book 1 was out? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And it could just be a combination of circumstances. It just, book 1 feels so nothing and everything all at once. And so I guess I was just left confused a lot of the book. But yeah, no, I think that's the best way I can describe it, is that it just feels like movie 2 in a trilogy, but it is book 1 of a book series, which is just such a weird place to exist. And maybe I'll feel different once I read the rest of them, you know what I mean? But I think because it's a retelling, and I think I might have mentioned this before, it feels like it's held back by its retelling status, and that it should have been something else. But I think that might just be a product of how she needed to get the story out. Anyway, and so yeah, I think I just want other people's opinions from those who have been with the series from the beginning. What brought you to book 2 when you finished book 1? And again, not to say that I think book 1 is bad or undeserving of a sequel. That's not what I'm saying at all. And then my other question for those who are reading, are there more books in the series? So I like vaguely know, again, what I know from Carrie Can Read. I vaguely know what the rest of the series is. Is the series done? Are we getting more books? That is just me being curious. I just want to know, because I don't know. And then, okay, this is like my big, it might be a hot take, it might be an ice cold take. I don't know, because I've kind of stayed away from the discussion around these books because I didn't want my thoughts to be kind of predetermined going into the second reread. I wanted to go in as blank as possible. And so my question is, do we think Tamlin ever did or could ever love Feyre as a human? Because I think no. And again, this could be like just accepted by the community that he didn't, but or it might not be. I'm not sure. I haven't come across it, but I also haven't looked for it. So don't rake me across the coals if you're like, oh bitch, we've been new. Don't rake me across the coals. Just, you know, I'm new here. Be nice. The tone of which this book is marketed and the story of which I am perceiving just simply don't agree. It's marketed as like a romance. This is put in the romance section. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Like, everything kind of hits you over the head that this is a romance. Even the dedication, where she dedicates it to Josh, I'm assuming her husband, I would assume, I think it's safe to assume, that he would go under the mountain for her. Beautiful dedication, by the way. Because going under the mountain, because Feyre going under the mountain is the most human thing she can do. That is what it means to be human. That is what it means to love, is to go under the mountain. The same way that it means in the story of Orpheus and Eurydice, it is human and it is love to turn around. Of course she's going to go under the mountain. Of course she's going to turn around. That is what it means to love someone. And so it's painted you know, A Court of Thorns and Roses as this epic, dramatic love story. And the entire time, the first time around and this time, I never once believed that Tamlin loved her. The reason being is because he, you know, it's the thing that saves her in the end. She thinks back to all the things that she overheard, sneaking around hallways, doors open, and it leads her to solving the riddle at the very end. But all of those moments, to me, is he is admitting to using her. You were perfect. You could fix this. And I think that's why even though it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, that's the one thing the Beast doesn't do. He doesn't tell her, you could save me. Ever. He falls in love with her and then lets her go without an expectation of anything in return. And Tamlin is putting this expectation on Feyre of, you could have done something. And telling that to someone who has her entire life only taken care of people and worked herself to the bone for the ones that she loves, it just feels icky as shit. And I know we don't like Tamlin. I know we don't like Tamlin, so I don't feel bad like saying this. But hello? And so it just leads me to wonder, are we supposed to believe that Tamlin ever loved her? Ever? Because to me, it just feels like he liked her, you know, but the same way that you like a funky little cat that you find on the street and you're like, you're my best friend now, scoop, and you take it home, and you love that cat, undoubtedly, but you're not in love with the cat. And I don't think that he ever could be, and that's what makes it so tragic, is that she absolutely is so deeply in love with him because she has no power not to be. She was taken from her impoverished life, and he scooped her up, took her to the land of milk and honey, gave her everything, and took care of her family so she could finally be at peace. Who's not gonna fall in love with that? You know, with the bare minimum of, hey, let's hang out a little bit every now and then. Of course you're gonna fall in love with them. And so and I think having that interpretation makes the book so much more interesting. Like, it's not a love story, he's just using, it's not a love story, it's a tragedy. He's just using her, and she is powerless to be anything but in love with him, and that is devastating. And that is like horribly like devastating, but it's so interesting. And like I get why people theorize around Sarah J Maas. She puts breadcrumbs left, right, and center, and it's really fun to do. And you know, even rereading this, the amount of star symbolism with Feyre is like lovely. It's so sweet. It's very fun. She's putting breadcrumbs from the beginning. And so I don't think that I'm overthinking this in saying that I don't think it's possible for a fairy to fall in love with a human, not at least not Tamlin, you know. And so I think all this to ask, what do you guys think? Do you think that he ever actually loved her, or was she only just like a funky little cat that he brought inside? Like, even when she is even when she is forced to make the deal with Rhys and get her hand, you know, permanently tattooed, which is, you know, sick as hell. You know, if you think about it a little too hard, it could be like a little cringy, little fanfiction-y, but like, that's just sick as hell. A little cat, that's so fun. But she's forced into making that deal because no one's gonna come and save her. You know, she even thinks like, Lucien underestimated me before. He underestimated my humanness. Does he even understand that I could die from this? She herself is having these questions of the power imbalance. Does he know how fragile I am? Does he even understand that I will not live by the time he comes to get me? Or does he think Or does he think, oh, I have more time? And like, we know Lucien doesn't come because he was punished and he had lashings and he himself had to heal. We know that as an audience, but she doesn't, not yet. And so for her to have those thoughts of, you know, Lucien not fully understanding her humanness, I think it's fair to say that none of the fairies really understand her humanness and her human nature. And so I don't think that this is a romance story. I think this is a horribly tragic story. But that's why I like it, and reading it through that lens is just, it's so interesting to see, because there are so many small moments of Tamlin kind of pushing her and using her and being like, oh, if only you knew what the right words to say were, then we could finally be together, and like dangling that, you know what I mean? And not exactly in those words, obviously, but little breadcrumbs here and there. And like, oh my god, when they sleep together for the first time, Feyre and Tamlin, oh, my heart broke. My heart broke, because he did it knowing that that is everything that she could have wanted, that he was love bombing. I don't even want to say love bombing, but I don't know, and I don't think that was the right use of that word, but him doing that felt like, okay, my last ditch effort. I know I'm sending her away tomorrow, and I know that this is everything that she could have wanted, and if I say I love you, maybe she will say it back. And then he sends her away. And even as she's going away, he calls out to her, I love you. And she cannot bring herself to say it. And that scene, it feels like he's asking her to say it. Like, I've done everything that you could want. Just say it. Just give me the thing that I want to free me of this curse. And even after they sleep together and she's being sent away, Lucien and Alice are both kind of mad at her for not saying I love you, because yeah, it's gonna save them too. Again, she is just a pawn in everyone else's game, and I don't know if she realizes this later, that she is just a pawn, but she is just a pawn in everyone else's game, and it sucks. It's hard to read. It's good. It's good. It's so good. And I love Feyre. I love Feyre. I love reading her story. I love reading from her point of view. She's just so human. And to be human is to love. And to love is to go under the mountain. To love is to turn around. And Feyre, while she's the main character, and she is such a good character, and she's such a strong female character, she is powerless against almost everyone else. And I think that's why Rhys likes her so much in this book. Because he knows that she is just a pawn, that she is just, that she is powerless against the fairies, and that she tries anyway. And that endears her to him. And I made the joke that I'm like, ooh, like, she's on deathbed trying to negotiate, and that's the moment he starts falling in love with her, and I stand by that. But I don't think Rhys could love her as a human either. And we'll never know the answer to that question, because she becomes a high fae at the end of this book. And not to say that all high fae couldn't love a human, because, you know, that's a major linchpin in the rest of the story, is a fairy and a human being in love. But, and maybe Rhys could have loved her as a human. I think he could have, personally, as he seems to be one of the most empathetic characters, because he's a very tortured character. But we'll never know, because she got turned into a high fae. And so I'm just, reading this leaves me wondering, like, a lot of what ifs for my girl, because I love my girl. I wish I had a 5th color to annotate with, because these are 4 separate colors. They don't look like it in the camera, but they are 4 separate colors. I wish I had a 5th color to annotate with, so I could have put ill gross. And I could have marked every time Tamlin was kind of being gross, and every time I thought Feyre was being used, without her knowing.
So, I'm driving to my partner's house, and I'm gonna turn off the AC for this. So I'm driving to my partner's house, and I just got to thinking about ACOTAR again, because I don't know if I said everything that I wanted to say in my sit-down vlog. I wish I could, like, show you my face, but I am actively driving, because no, I did not figure out how to style my hair. But I think I've just come to the conclusion that ACOTAR itself, the book of A Court of Thorns and Roses, is not a romance. It's a tragedy disguised as a romance. And thus, like, that's hard to market. So it has to be marketed, but then it has to be marketed as a romance to get you to read the next one. But in reading the next one, it recontextualizes the first one. And so this first one now is reliant on the second book in the series to get the full picture. And there's something to be said that's a very talented thing that Sarah J. Maas, like, has done with that. Like, that's very impressive. But in the same breath, it feels as if ACOTAR, the book, is reliant on the rest of the series to be important. And so, if that's the case, does it stand up by itself? And I don't know if it does. And you can't judge a book based on the series around it. You can only judge a book as a standalone. And so it's a really interesting case of what is the point of this book, but then also it has all the points made about it. You know what I mean? Like, do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, this book is very interesting to me. It's fueled a lot of my... I need to turn the AC back on. If you hear rumbling, I'm so sorry. It's really warm in my car, and my cat's in here with me, and I refuse to let her overheat. She's just a fur ball. But this book is just so interesting. There's just so much to think about. And I don't know if any of it was intentional, or if I'm just driving myself insane. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just such an interesting case, because I can't think of another book series that does that, unless all of other Sarah J. Maas's work does this exact same thing. I don't know. And I also don't know if in the next book, are we going to look back at book one and see it as a tragedy? Are we going to see it as her being taken advantage of? Or is it going to be that it's just a character assassination? Because I hear a lot, oh, Tamlin's character assassination. Girlies, what if it wasn't a character assassination? What if this just what he was like the entire time? Oh my god, I have so many thoughts. Ugh. Do I put my rating higher? I don't think I can in good faith. But yeah, I think that like finally sums up my like thoughts on the book. That, and I love Feyre. I do. And I keep thinking about to love, and I keep thinking about to be human is to love, and to love is to turn around at the gates of hell, or in this case, to go under the mountain without question. Oh, it's just so interesting. Okay, well now I'm gonna go bother my boyfriend and tell him all these exact same thoughts that I just told you. Okay, bye! But, yeah. The world says this is a romance. Percy says it is a beautiful tragedy. And so what do you guys say? What do you guys think it is? You can tell me I'm wrong. That's totally fine. You can totally disagree with me, and you can cite your sources, and I would love to see that, and I'd love to have that discussion with you, because I don't think I'm fully right. This is just my interpretation. It is just my opinion. You can tell me to go fuck myself. But if you are gonna leave like a hate comment, like a mean comment, make sure to put it in MLA format, you know? That's the only way they're accepted. I originally read this book. I originally decided to reread this book for my own posterity. And because I thought it was springtime, why not? Why not now? Springtime is for fairies, after all. I originally wanted to reread this book for my own posterity because as someone in the book space, as an author, as a reader, it is so prevalent in the common zeitgeist that not reading it I feel like is a disservice to the community, and I wanted to read it with
a new lens, completely neutral as much as I can, and to find the good in things. There are so many. This is like a really deep conversation for me to have while having a roller on my head. I'm gonna, beautiful, beautiful, stunning. There's a bobby pin in here. Hello? Hello? And so, is that, did I do it? Did I do the thing? Maybe. I think I just have too much hair in general for... Is this better or worse to have a serious conversation with? Anyway. Percy doesn't know how to blow out her hair. More at 6. Okay, anyway. I wanted to read this with literally 0 preconceived notions of what I should be experiencing, and trying to keep my mind blank as much as possible, and trying to find the good in it. Because when I first read it, I think I got bored and decided to look for the bad, because it was like a popular thing to do, was to, you either loved it or you hated it. And I didn't love it, so I fell automatically into the side of hating it. And so kind of washing that from my brain made a very different experience, and made me find things that I never, I think, would have even thought about before. And that's the fun in reading, and that's the fun in experiencing new things. So all this to say, and it's not just for this book. I want to do it for everything in my life, to be better about finding the good. It's a very hard thing to do, and you have to actively make yourself do it sometimes. But there are so many bad things in the world that going out of your way to find the good and to find the things that bring you joy in things that you might not enjoy and in the mundane is, in my opinion, a sign of rebellion and a sign of resistance in a world where it is so easy to hate everything and everyone. Actually, I think there's actually a quote from Feyre when she's talking about Elaine and about their little cabin. She says, "She had looked at that cottage with hope. I had looked at it with nothing but hatred, and I knew which one of us had been stronger." And I think that really kind of sums up not only my experience with this book, but just where I am as a person in this world that exists. I didn't mean to get deep on you, and I especially didn't mean to get deep on you when I look like this. But here we are. Again, this is a safe space. Don't bully me about my hair. Don't bully me about my hair or my opinions, okay? Or do. I can't tell you to do anything. I had a great time with you guys. This was so much fun. I love vlogging, and I love vlogging while I read. I like being able to tell you like my reactions live, and for you to get to see things like this, experiments that just kind of go wrong. So if you had as much fun with me as I had hanging out with you guys, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. It really helped. And if you made it this far, comment the little fairy emoji. Tell me all of your thoughts and opinions, but not about my hair. And yeah, so tell me all of your thoughts and opinions. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think I'm full of shit? Do you think I'm thinking about this too hard? Do you think I will ever learn how to blow out my hair? All that and more down in the comments. Alright, bye guys.